Who needs sleep when you're having fun? The return of the FIBA 3x3 World Tour 2020 season continues with the Europe Masters, the third straight event in Debrecen, the historical city in Hungary. We meet respected Hungarian referee Cecilia Toth, who's become a role model for women entering the world of officiating. Liman superstar Stefan Stojacic, aka Mr. Robot, opens up about returning to 3x3 after missing most of 2019 through injury. And the world's best player, Dusan Bulut, aka Mr. Bulletproof, talks about the motivation behind building a 3x3 court in his hometown of Novi Sad. Plus, stay tuned to the end of the magazine. Trust me, we got a can't miss top 5 plays of the tourney. It's quick, it's epic, and now it's Olympic. Welcome to the world of FIBA 3x3 basketball. A game played with non-stop music on a half court between two teams of 3 players aiming to score 21 points before 10 minutes of game time is up. Previously at the FIBA 3x3 World Tour, blink and you would have missed it. Riga claimed their first title of the new season after winning the Hungary Masters by edging Serbian surprise packets UB in one of the craziest finals ever. Carlos Lasmanis, aka Flight KLM, took off to win the MVP honors, and he reminded everybody that he's hungry for 3x3's crown. It sets up an epic finale in Debrecen with informed Riga and Liman, who both won Masters, and 4-time World Tour champs Novi Sad, who are desperate to get on the board after a shaky start. In a loaded field comprised of 11 of the world's top 15 teams, there ain't no shortage of contenders for the title in this one. Let's find out who comes out on top. You thought 2020 has been crazy. I'm still catching my breath after an insane day one, filled with upset after upset. World number 1 Liman were out for revenge against Lausanne after losing to the talented Swiss squad at the Hungary Masters. But number 10 seed Lausanne once again had their number like a phone book, if they still existed. An early 6-0 run was fueled by sharpshooter Marco Liman, aka the Juice Man, who was squeezing 2 pieces left and right. The Serbs hit back, though, with a 6-1 spurt led by the gritty Mihailo Vasquez, who put Badera top on his bucket list. He might not have the size, but trust me, Gilles Martin should audition for the Fast and the Furious. My man is faster than 5G, as Lausanne once again stunned Liman. Lausanne failed to close the deal at the Hungary Masters, but hoped to book their spot to the quarterfinals this time around. They faced a tough task, though, against the always competitive Ulaanbaatar MMC Energy squad, who started fast through Dogan Inkbot. And like Bradley Cooper, Inkbot's hair remained perfect even after having the D in a spin. Wester Montani, aka King West, built his own kingdom near the rim, and he even splashed from deep. Lausanne seemed like they was headed for the dub. That is until Sengun Bayar Goto got possessed like the girl in The Exorcist to even things up at 19 apiece. But King West was all money as he hit the Tissot buzzer beater, and the second time is a charm for Lausanne, who make it through to the quarters. 2-time defending World Tour champs Novi Sad have been rustier than an old bike to start off the action, and they woes continued against number 11 seed Jeddah. They needed to ignite Mr. Bulletproof, and he unloaded by attacking the rim. But Simon Ardouche was hotter than the Arabian desert to give Jeddah the edge. Novi Sad went to a reliable source, Thomas Ivosev, aka Frankenstein, who took him down to the dungeon to even things up at 12 apiece. But the Serbs went cold after that, and they couldn't make stops on D, with Kevin Core pulling out the Kareem skyhook. Then Ardouche finishing things off with the one-handed punch. The upsets continued on day one. In a must-win game, Novi Sad sent Gargarin back to earth. It was target practice for Mr. Bulletproof as he turned Debrecen into his own personal playground. The and one got him rolling early, then he showed more range than Ariana Grande. The number 1 player in the world put the finishing touches as Novi Sad landed a 21-8 beatdown well under the time limit. Red Hot Riga easily beat host Debrecen first, but faced a much tougher battle against Piran, whom they narrowly beat in the first Masters. It went down to the wire, with the scores locked at 18 apiece. The Latvians needed a hero to step up, and Carlos Lasmanis saw the bad sign and put on his brand new Wilson cape, but Piran still made it through to the quarterfinals. Number 5 seed Sakiai Gubale found their form with an unbeaten day one, while number 4 seed New York Harlem made it through after splitting their games. Number 7 Zamun were the highest seed to bid farewell and were joined by Gargerin, Ulaanbaatar MMC Energy, and Debrecen. Dusan Bulut, aka Mr. Bulletproof, is arguably 3x3's GOAT. He's become world famous and melted social media many times, but he's never forgotten his roots of playing in the streets of Serbia. Mr. Bulletproof has given back by helping refurbish a 3x3 court in Novi Sad.
When you have a relationship with somebody, as I do with the street, sometimes you do something nice without no reason for the other person. When I grew up, we all liked to play on that concrete courts and concrete backboards. I think now it's gonna help kids to come there and enjoy more. And that's why we did it, because we wanted to do something nice to the community, something nice to the youth, and something nice to the sport and art.
Located in the suburb of Liman, Bulut's court is complete with gorgeous artwork and set to be a major part of the local community.
I just grabbed the ball and walked to the court of Liman, searching for the games and searching for my friends. That's how we socialize. And the reason why we picked that court is because it's half court, and that's why we all want to separate ourselves, because of this game is playing on a one basket and a half court, and then that court is always full of kids. It's really nearby to the city beach. We put that picture on a few courts in Liman, and we wanted to show, not just me, but also that artist want to show his talents to the more people than just, one community in Liman.
Bulut hopes the court will inspire the next generation of hoopers.
That's for the kids, that's for youth, that's for all the kind of people to play, to hang out, to make their own memories. And I think they're gonna figure out themselves how they're gonna use it. And, it's simple like that.
All right, here's a look at the quarterfinal bracket, which features the top 6 seeds along with Lausanne and Jeddah. First up, can Lausanne live up to the hype and go all the way? They had to firstly end a curse against Piran, who they lost their last 4 games to. It was a showdown between Speedy Gonzalez, Giro Monton, and Slovenian master Simon Finsgaard. You know where Luka must have learned all his moves from, right? From Finsgaard, of course, aka the Sphinx, who had the tough finish to trigger 4 straight points for Piran. But Martin mummified the Sphinx to get the Swiss back in it. The Sphinx returned from the grave, though, to inch Piran closer. But this wouldn't end just yet. Martin went bang, and OT was needed. Simon had the game in his hands from the line, but the Sphinx lost his nerve, and it proves fatal. You do not give Martin a second chance. The Swiss don't miss, as Lausanne made it to the semis. Sakiai Gubale have turned it around. They were winless in Hungary, but won 4 straight at this Masters after making it through qualification. The Lithuanians were red hot against Jeddah, and they fired 2 pieces to make it one-way traffic early. Simon Ardouche tried to inspire Jeddah with a jam, but Marius Ujupis unleashed the Uzi, and this looked like it was going to be a wrap. Kevin Kors scored and then wanted more to get it down to 3. But Aurelius Pukalis had enough, and Sakiai Gubale held on to win it 21-17 to reach the Final 4. Novi Sad and New York Harlem met at the same stage at the first Masters, with the Serbs winning. This emerging rivalry is always worthy of a final, and both teams brought it. The New Yorkers had the jump with Disco Damo strutting one-legged and Marcel Elsenwune stuffing the rim. Marco Savage tried to lift the struggling Serbs, but Damo was providing the entertainment for the wedding and the backdrop to keep New York Harlem ahead. The Serbs wouldn't roll over, though, and Dejan Majstorovic was cool from the line to tie things up at 20 apiece. But Joey King went battle royale on Savage in the post for the Tissot buzzer beater, as New York Harlem gained sweet revenge. A disappointed Novi Sad, meantime, leave Hungary empty-handed. Speaking of potential finals, it don't get much bigger than Liman Riga, the winners of the last two Masters. This was lit from jump, with Carlos Lasmanis, a.k.a. Flight KLM, hitting a one-legged two-piece to start things off. Not as fancy, but just as effective, Stefan Kojic was smoother than butter to be the main man for the Serbs. Lasmanis had a flight to catch, though, on an empty runway, but he showed he could operate in heavy traffic, too, to level the score at 10 apiece. The Latvians had no answer on D, though, with Kojic on target like Jeremy Renner. Stefan Stojacic, a.k.a. Mr. Robot, rebooted, and this was a done dilly, with Liman enjoying a convincing 21-15 under the time limit. Riga falls short, but still go home with one Masters title. The Tissot Shootout Contest. This is the moment we crown the best sniper in the whole tournament. The all-time record was never in doubt, but Nebojša Kilian from Jeddah outshone the bigger names. He started hot and then killed it with 2 straight money balls to finish with 11 points, a tally that was more than enough. Nebojša Kilian, your Tissot Shootout winner of the Europe Masters Contest. Cecilia Toth has become one of the most respected refs on the circuit since her breakout at the FIBA 3x3 U23 World Cup in China 2 years ago. The former 3x3 player was asked by the Hungarian Basketball Federation to give 3x3 refereeing a go, given her credentials.
Actually, the federation told me I need to choose between being a player or being a referee. I felt more confident and more happy being a referee on the court, so I decided I want to be a ref.
Armed with a whistle was a surreal experience for Toth, with refs usually looked at suspiciously by players. But she has credibility amongst the hoopers, having played on 3x3's biggest stage herself at the World Cup in 2014 and 2016.
My very first experience as a referee on a 3x3 game, it was in a local event. It was so strange being on the other side. Even the players knew me as a player before, so they greeted me, but they asked me, like, what are you doing here? You're supposed to be a player. So firstly, they really thought that I'm their enemy, but after they were like, okay, she has a different perspective view because she played, so I think they accepted me.
The composed Toth has the characteristics to sort out emotional and volatile situations on the court.
Sometimes it's a help if there is a female on the court because, you know, a player wants to shout at you and they realize, oh, okay, that's a female over there, I'm not gonna do it. Being a player before definitely helps me to be a referee. I have different aspects on plays. I know how the players feel on the court. I know how exhausting is this game.
The 30-year-old has enjoyed returning to Debrecen, where she officiated the men's final of last year's FIBA 3x3 Europe Cup.
I didn't expect it at all. It was a really great feeling to be on the court, and this atmosphere here in Debrecen is amazing. The crowd is amazing. Even the players were so, motivated. So it was an amazing feeling for sure.
A pioneer of the craft, Toth is pushing more and more women to get into 3x3 refereeing.
3x3 is giving really good chance for female referees, and this can be a breakout for them. I enjoy every second of it. I love the team. I love how we work on and off the court. So I don't think this is a job. This is completely love.
Now it's time for everybody's favorite segment, right? The Wilson Dunk Contest. And we finished off the World Tour restart with three of the best to ever do it. Poland's Rafał Lepek-Lipinski and Ukrainians Dmitry Smooth Kravchenko and Vadim Miller-Podovchenko. Lepek came out in NBA Jam session heat mode and received more 10s than Tennant. He stole the show with a ridiculous dunk off a handoff after wrapping the ball under both legs. Talk about elevating your game. Smooth wasn't quite smooth enough, but he had more creativity than the Face app when he teamed up with Miller to leave a lasting image before he bowed out. In the final, Miller knew he had to bring out his best immediately, including the nasty scorpion dunk off the bounce that he first introduced at the Debrecen Masters a week before. Lepek responded with a reverse jam over Smooth, where he jumped so high, he had a face-to-face meeting with the rim. Disaster struck when Miller time ran out, and the contest was basically a wrap. Miller did finish in style with a spectacular 360 dunk off the bounce, but it just wasn't enough. The pole pogo stick calmly sealed the deal with a ridiculous windmill to claim his second victory in a week. So Rafał Lepek-Lipinski wins the Wilson Dunk Contest and takes home the $3,000 check. Two of the top three seeds miss out, with world number 1 Liman playing number 4 New York Harlem, while number 5 seed Sakiai Gubale meet number 10 seed Lausanne. First up, Sakiai. They've been back in business like a "we're open" sign, and they face a dangerous Lausanne team looking for their first Masters title. They traded buckets all game long with Jules Martin blowing past the D, but Paulius Belavicius responded. King West ruled the paint with authority, and Lausanne had the edge through sharpshooter Marco Liman. The teams created a storm in Debrecen, with Belavicius answering from deep to tie things up. Sakiai Gubale went down low, and Aurelius Pukalis stuffed it down for the 2019 lead. Liman could have been the hero from the line, but Marco missed the mark. The Lithuanians went back to Pukalis, who made no mistake to continue Sakiai's stunning turnaround. Heartbreak for Lausanne as Sakiai moves on.
I want to say a big thanks for Lithuanian fans. Thank you!
Liman and New York Harlem clash in a mouth-watering contest. Disco Damo got the party started, and his partner in crime, Kadani Brutus, served up 5-star dishes. The Serbs hit back, though, thanks to the hot shooting of Stefan Kojic. The Americans were dealt a blow when Brutus hobbled off the court injured, and they started to run out of steam. Mr. Robot hit him harder with the step back, but the New Yorkers were like, "How do you like them big apples?" Joey King carried the team on his back with 5 straight points to get him back in it. But Mr. Robot, he was automatic from the line in the dying seconds, and they held off New York Harlem. Liman get through to another World Tour final.
We are struggling with injuries on these 3 tournaments. So congratulations to my team for a great game.
There was something notable missing in 2019. Stefan Stojacic, aka Mr. Robot, who won the 2017 regular season MVP. The Liman superstar is back, making his defenders dance like Daft Punk after missing most of last season due to a calf injury.
Last year was really a terrible year for me, I can say like that. And then I tried to come back and I start maybe a little bit too early, then I injure myself again, and then I say, okay, for this season I'm done. Now let's practice slowly to come to the normal stage when you can play. And then I was like kind of ready, and then Corona came and I was like, okay, now again, preparation period and everything. So it was like a hard period.
Off the court, 2019 was memorable for Mr. Robot. He became a father for the first time and enjoyed quality time with his loving wife.
a lot of things in that period changed for me, so I was like more focused on that side of the family field, you know. I was like spending more time with them, practicing. My wife, Milica, she was my support through all these years, you know, because I had like a lot of goings up and down. I was like, had a great career in 5-on-5, then now I'm going to stop playing 5-on-5, I'm going to university. Then 3x3 starts, then I decide, okay, I'm not going to do education anymore, I'm going to 3x3. So she was like the one who was always supporting me. Okay, you do what you think that is best, and at the end it shows that is a really good way.
After almost 2 years out, Mr. Robot produced the best comeback since Rocky defeated Ivan Drago when he claimed MVP and led Liman to the Debrecen Masters title.
First of all, I was like nervous, you know. It's like literally nearly 2 years. It's 1 year and 10 months without being 100% healthy and to be on a court. As the time goes by, like first game, second game, I start to feel it back, you know, my body is good.
Without their best player, a courageous Liman team showed plenty of heart to memorably win the Debrecen Masters and finish 2019 as the world #1.
First of all, I want to thank to all my guys from Team Liman that played a great season without me last year. And now we are playing much more as a team, and I think that now we are even much better team than before. I want Team Liman to be really the team of 3x3 in the future. So I want when somebody say Liman to be recognized as a team of 3x3. I don't want to be like that there was like Mr. Robot or I don't know, Kojic, Vasquez. Okay, we will be the guys who started everything, but I want Liman to continue as long as it's possible.
World #1 Liman looked to make it 2 out of 3 in Hungary and cement their standing as 3x3's best team. Sakiai Gubale hoped to spoil the party and continue a remarkable return to form, having won 6 straight all the way from the qualifying draw heading into the final. But would the #5 seed run out of gas? Sakiai were not intimidated, especially Aurelius Pukalis, who started with a thunderous smash. The Lithuanians were perfecting the pick and roll, and big man Pukalis proved unstoppable. But Liman had just too many weapons. The Stefans, Stojacic and Kojic rolled to the rim as the Serbs grabbed control. A tired Sakiai Gubale struggled to keep pace, but Pukalis put on a one-man show en route to a game-high 12 points. But Liman proved why they are 2020's gold standard, and Mr. Robot emailed the dagger from deep. Mihailo Vasquez clinched it from the line to trigger memorable celebrations as Liman dominated in Debrecen once again and pocketed another $40,000 check. Stefan Kojic was named MVP after starring in the final with 9 points.
That's it, we won it again, baby. Congratulations to all my team. Big thank you for my wife too. She's doing everything alone there at home.
Now, I know you've been waiting for this. It's your favorite segment. It's mine too. So here we go. The top 5 plays of the Europe Masters. First off at #5, Disco Damo out here spinning like Serena Williams. At #4, if Gilles Martin had a middle name, it'd be Aston. My guy is faster than a supercar. In at #3, the kings of 3x3 were taken down by New York Harlem's king in Debrecen. Second on the list, he's back. Gilles Martin put Simon Finsgar in a corner, dancing on his own. And at #1, the Minister of Defense, Marcel Esenwune, was the bouncer at Club Magic Sky. You get rejected, You go home. You get VIP. In these uncertain times, no guarantees as to what is next, but we're putting everything in motion. So trust me, it won't be too long. We'll keep you posted. Remember, you can follow us live with the hashtag 3x3WT on FIBA 3x3 social media channels on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Until next time, y'all. Peace out.